All right, so in the previous video, we made it possible to store the items into our Redux store and the local storage. So now that we have our cart available to us, we can make use of that for our navigation. And that's exactly what I want to work on here. Is I'm going to add an extra link here, which is going to be called cart. And on top of that, what I want is that if a user clicks on add to cart, well, the number of items that are in the cart, I want it to be labeled here on the top of the cart link to indicate how many items are currently in the shopping cart, right? That's kind of typical for any e-commerce site, right? So that's what I want to work on. So the first thing we're going to do to make that happen is get the cart from the Redux store. All right, get the cart from the Redux store, and we're going to have to grab that and make that available here in the header component, because this is essentially what deals with our navigation. And I want you to navigate to this portion here, which has this logic that's saying if not is authenticated, right? Because in this block, these are the links that are being displayed if for users that are not logged in. All right. And what I want you to do is go ahead and copy this list tag for the shop and go ahead and paste it below. Or as a matter of fact, let's go back up, because as I mentioned here, for the first step is we want to get the cart from the Redux store so we can make use of that. And the way we're going to make grab onto items in the Redux store is using use selector. So go ahead and import that. Use selector from the React Redux right here. All right, I'm going to do use selector, and I'm going to do state and then cart, and then we're going to grab our cart. So this right here will have our cart items. All right, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and mark this off, get cart from Redux store. All right, so next is add cart route to link tag in the header component. All right, so that's right here. So where we left off at. So we have this list tag here, and I'm just going to go ahead and point this link to the cart. For the icon, it's gonna be shopping cart, and that's part of font awesome. Change the label, call it cart. And let's see, right over here, we're gonna create a span tag right next to the cart label. And right here within the span tag, this is where we want to display the number of items in the cart. And as I said, we have available to us the cart, and we can get the length of the cart from it. So going back to the span tag, I'm going to do cart.length right here. And if I save that, go back up here and let's see what we get. All right, so do you see what we get here? You see we get 0, and that should match up with what we have in the Redux and local storage. So here in the local storage, you see that it's empty. We don't have anything. But also the Redux store, let me expand this here. If I go to the state, you see the cart, it's showing that it's empty. So that matches up. But what if we add the turkey burger? I'm going to click add to cart. All right, so we go up here. You see we have 1 item. If I click add to cart for the veggie burger, add to cart, now we have 2. All right, so that's working. So let's go ahead and mark this off. Add the cart route to link tag in header.js. And now we want to make it look nice. So we want to add some styling to this here, right? We want to push this number a little bit to the top of the cart and closer. And we also want to add a badge. And that badge I'm going to make use of using Bootstrap. and I want to also give it a red color. I feel like the color red is going to make it pop a little bit more and make it very obvious. You can see it's going to be very easy to notice that with that red color. And let's go ahead and make that happen. All right, so going back here to the list tag, where we at? Okay, so here we are. So here we have our list tag for cart. So we're going to start off here. We're going to add an inline style for using React. And where are we at? All right, so we're going to do, nope, wrong place. Here we go. All right. And then we're going to do a position of relative. I'm going to save that. All right. Now, going to the span tag, we're going to add another position, but it's going to be position absolute. So we're going to do style and do position of absolute. And we're going to give it a top of 0 px or 0 pixels. If I save that, go back, there you go. You see this? Just like that. That looks much better like that. All right, and as I mentioned, I was going to add a badge using Bootstrap. So that styling I'm going to add to the span tag. So I'm going to do class name, and it's going to be badge, like that, and then badge dash danger. Now danger, by adding danger, that's what's going to give us the red colored badge. And if I save that and go back, there you go. Now you see we have our badge. All right, but now as you can see, it's crammed up here. So I want to create some margin, some spacing. And let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna go here to the list tag for our cart, and for the class name, do MR for margin right -2. Save that. There you go. All right, there you go. Now that looks really nice. All right, so now let me go ahead and collapse this a little more. As a matter of fact, let me go close this up here. All right, so now we have 2 items. What if we wanted to add cheese pizza, add to cart? Now we have 3. What if pepperoni pizza, add to cart? Now we have 4. All right, there you go. So now that's working. But also, let me go ahead and reset this, or clear out the Redux and the local storage, so we can also test that out. Test out the add to cart button on other pages. So I'm just going to clear this up right here, and to clear up the Redux, we're going to have to refresh the page. All right, so now you see it's reset, that we have 0 here, and we can check that in the local storage that it's empty, so that's good. All right, so let me do it from the home screen. Let me press add to cart right here. Let's click on new arrivals for pasta parmesan, add to cart. Now we have 1 item. All right, what if we clicked on for the cheese pizza, we decide we want to check more information about this product, so we click view product, and we want to click add to cart over here. We click add to cart. Now we have 2. And again, remember, we also dealt with avoiding duplications when creating our add to cart action function. So if I was to try to click add to cart here again, click it again, you see it's still 2. All right, there you go. All right, so there you go. So now we made use of the cart items from our Redux and local storage, and by displaying the number of items here in our cart in our navigation for the cart. But also, I think let's see here. So we added the styling. So we had one part here. So we actually want to be able to navigate to the cart page here. So what I'm gonna do here is So this is where we have our list tag for our cart, and it's pointing here. You see the link, it's pointing to cart, but we have to add that to the App Store, because if I go here and if I was to click the cart, you see it does in the URL, it is pointing to cart, but you see we get it has this inside not found component, because this is the default. If there's no component that matches that, then it defaults to this right here. So we have to correct that. So let's go back to the shop, and I have to add that to our app.js. So here, components, there you go. So we have to add that here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this, paste, and it was called cart. It's gonna be called cart, save and go down, copy this route for the shop, paste below. So if there's a match that is going to /cart, then we want to display the cart component. All right, if I save that, we're gonna get an error because we have to create the cart component. So in the components folder, I want you to create a new file, call it cart.js. I'm gonna close this app.js, and what I want to do is, let's go ahead and import our React. Import React from React, and set up a basic structure or skeleton structure for our cart. Here, the return a div tag, which is going to say inside cart component, and let's go ahead and export that. Cart. All right, so if we save that, I'm going to close up the dev console, and if I now click on this link tag for cart, now you see we are indeed navigated to this cart component. It says inside cart component. All right, there you go. All right, so now we took care of that, and I will see you in another lecture.